All right, so I wanted to just share a few things. I want to give you guys some inspiration, man, because I've had so much. So we're gonna just start with a little bit of the sunset going down here in West Palm Beach. I just got back into the country today, and it's been feeling pretty good. These last few weeks have been really amazing, and to come back and have an evening like this here in West Palm is it's really gorgeous. So this view, I'm kind of at the tail end of it, but the sky here will start to glow in a few minutes. So definitely stay tuned, because I'm going to give you some more of this, and you can see what it's like out here in sunny South Florida. But it's definitely different than Texas. Texas has beautiful sunsets, but here's amazing too. So I'm going to turn this around and show you a little bit where I am, and then I want to tell you a little bit about my last 2 weeks, because they may have been the most inspirational weeks of my life, and I've got so much good stuff for you guys in store, and we're going to get to doing that very soon. So I'm going to come back to the sunset. Um, Who's on with me? What are you guys doing? How's your weekend going? You know, what's going on with you? Let me know. I see I got a few viewers, and I love when I have you guys live. Where are you at? Where are you in the world right now? Is it sunset yet? You know? So tell me what's going on with you guys. So I just actually spent the last 2 weeks at two different events that have some of the most amazing speakers and authors and writers and performers in the world. And I'm going to get to you, some names to you soon, and tell you a little bit about what we got. Good to hear, Jane. Relaxing. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about actually on this, was the need for us to celebrate and relax and enjoy what's going on in our lives. Something that came over and over for me this weekend, or this last 2 weeks, because I've been doing so much stuff. And sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, even though you're enjoying it all. Sometimes you gotta just sit back and relax. So, Nick, go on over. Tonight's gonna be good at the track. So I'm gonna show you where I'm at right now. So this is my place in West Palm Beach. I have a condo here. It's a really small condo, but it's amazing that this is one of two pools, our infinity pools. So in the morning, when I'm here, I get up and I just do laps in this giant pool. It's so much fun, and this is actually called the sunset deck, as you were just seeing a moment ago. And here's another little peek of how beautiful the sunset's going to be. These clouds, the few clouds that are in the sky, are going to light up this amazing Miami pink, the pastels. You can kind of see these ones already starting to change. And then over here we actually have a Zen garden, so I can come out here and just have breakfast, or my wife and I can eat a little brunch together. It's a real casual, laid-back atmosphere, and it's just, man, it's like living in bliss. So I'm gonna get this around, and I'm gonna sit down in just a moment, tell you a little about what. Oh my gosh, I hope the camera can pick this up. Tell you a little bit about this last 2 weeks, because I've been slacking on the videos. I know that I've been slacking on my videos. I haven't been doing them every single week, but it's not because I've been slacking. I just haven't been doing the videos. I've been doing so much, and very soon, hopefully on a daily basis. But I've got so much content. When I went to Awesomeness Fest, I just came back from first Mexico trip to another Awesomeness Fest event that's where I went in Greece a couple months ago, and about a year ago to Costa Rica, and there was a whole new lineup of speakers. And the whole idea, the theme of the event this time, was living your quest. How do you live actually what your quest is in life? Whereas the previous ones were amazing. There was one on belief hacking, there was one on biohacking, mind and body, and I have to tell you, everything up here functions so much better than a year ago as a result of this belief hacking. My reality is getting consistently better, and I give it to the result of this belief hacking stuff that I learned how to do and I practice on a daily basis. It's like part of my habits now. It's like brushing my teeth. I got to fix something that's not serving me up here, right? And then the biohacking one has totally changed my body. I dropped 5% body fat with no additional exercise, and I actually feel better, more energized, and just feel much better all around because of things that I've learned. this last one on Living Your Quest has given me a whole new vision on what I'm gonna be able to do actually with the raceway, and also with Cycle Ranch, and with the coaching stuff I'm doing, the speaking, because it's given me a much clearer path. I wrote a mission statement when I opened up San Antonio Raceway, and it was a very, very good mission statement, but the way I got to it was actually by looking at what other mission statements were. And there's one thing that it really didn't talk about in the mission statement before, which has always been kind of grabbing at me, and it's part of the reason why I do these racetracks, is because it's kind of my way to serve humanity. And mission statements don't typically have that kind of stuff in it. Mission statements are like, oh, we're just gonna like do these features, advantages, and benefits, and then that's kind of it. And by having these racetracks, I realized after this event, or during this event, that these venues, they give people, these events, they give people the ability to live their childhood dreams. And there's something so cool about it when I look at it that way and realize, wow, these things didn't exist. People wouldn't be able to have a chance to do these things. And these are things that I know as a child I dreamed about doing. Racing cars, like, come on. Who didn't say that I want to be a car racer when I grow up? I think pretty much every guy, and a good majority of women, right? So it's so fulfilling to be able to have a venue that we do that. And then we're adding in other events, especially at Cycle Ranch. That's not just motorcycle racing now, other events that the whole family can do together. And it's all going to be revolving around allowing people to live their dreams and experience that in the moment, whether it's learning things. We're going to do some educational stuff next year at Cycle Ranch, whether it's on the spiritual plane or art, music, dance. I want to bring all kinds of things so you can learn new things to bring to your life and improve the quality of your life and live a more fulfilling life. So the two main things that I've really realized I have to incorporate into the new mission of San Antonio Raceway, and it's not done yet, so I will share it when it is, but is that that one, we make events and things that people can do so that they actually can live their childhood dreams in some way. And then two, equally as important, is so that everybody realizes that anything is possible. Like, anything is possible. If you can think it, and you can think it for long enough and hold that thought and let it crystallize in your mind, you can start to take action to make it happen. And that's why we have people that break these amazing records and do these amazing things in the drag racing. That's just one little example of it. And I could talk about this all day, but today is not the day to talk about it. A bunch of examples, but I'm going to get this refined for you guys, and it's going to have pieces that include these two elements. Everything I do from now on has got to be something tied to helping people live out their childhood dreams, and something that inspires people to realize that anything is possible. So make sure you stay tuned to what I'm doing here, because this next week I'm gonna bring back a lot of this information that I learned at these events. And after, actually, I didn't even tell you, after I got back from the Live Your Quest event, I had basically 36 hours before I had to jump on a cruise ship. Let's fix that. I had the opportunity to jump on a cruise ship with 3,000 entrepreneurs and celebrities and people that are just game changers, disrupting industries. Like, I got to actually sit and talk with, for example, on the cruise ship, Steve Jurvetson, who is the chairman at SpaceX and at Tesla. Like, I wanted to meet Elon Musk. Like, I really admire what he's doing. I got to hang out with his boss. Like, whoa, how did that happen? John Azaraf of Neurogym, who, if you don't know his stuff, definitely check it out. He has a program called Winning the Game of Money, and you just listen to it, relax, and it reprograms your brain so that you start to see opportunities. You start to get creative in ways that you didn't know before, and it's a very passive way to do it, and it's effective. So I got to talk to him. I got to talk to Reverend Bernard Michael Beckwith, who is a New York Times bestselling author, He speaks on spirituality and consciousness and the different phases of the evolution as we realize who we are, that we're not just victims, but we can actually take control of our life. But that's only stage 2. There's actually 2 more stages that he talks about that are so fascinating, and I learned tools on how you can transcend from one to the next, from that the world is happening to me. And I'm going to give you guys a sunset while we talk here. The world is happening to me attitude, and I'm not in control, to all of a sudden, oh, we don't have the sunset. Sorry, guys. To actually, I can create my own world and define it. So that's really, really exciting. I can't wait to talk to you guys about that. I got to talk to Janet Atwood, who wrote The Passion Test. She had another New York Times bestseller that was on New York Times bestselling list for like 2 years or something ridiculous. It was amazing. So this passion test is a really simple test you can take to make sure that your passions are in alignment and you're doing the things that you want to do. So I'm going to actually do the passion test with you guys. I'm going to do a workshop at San Antonio Raceway one evening, but I'm going to be able to talk to you guys on a live video about what it is, how to do it. Graham Hancock. If you don't know who Graham Hancock is, YouTube him, or just YouTube banned TED Talk. He had an idea that was so incredibly revolutionary that TED Talk actually banned his video. And essentially it was kind of, in a nutshell, that consciousness, our brain doesn't make consciousness. The schools of science thought that we are conscious because of our brains. But the reality is, or what his reality is, his argument, which makes so much sense to me, is that actually it's our brain is more of an antenna that's able to receive consciousness that exists throughout. And if this is true, that means there's a collective consciousness. We all are tapping into the same information. We're all tapping into our antenna. Our brain's just an antenna, a receiving and a projecting antenna, which actually allows us to grasp this stuff, which means anybody, just refine your antenna, because the information is all there and all exists already. It's a much more empowering thing to believe, and it makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to do one session on that. I got to talk to Don Jose Ruiz. If you don't know who this is, Don Miguel Ruiz wrote the 4 Agreements. His father, Don Jose, wrote the 5th. I mean, he's got like a full generation of knowledge from this brilliant man. The 4 Agreements, if you have not read it, pick it up. Super easy read. It's 4 agreements you make with yourself and the universe to live a more fulfilling life, and they're just so on point. It will resonate with you. I guarantee it's going to make things simplified. I actually have a list here of like 10 more people I'll leave you with. I got, on the opposite side of the spectrum, I got to talk to Frank from Thievery Corporation, a band that I listened to from the time I was 13 or 14 years old. And that just all of a sudden I'm talking to one of the lead singers for them, just on a whim, like drinking tequila with him. Like, whoa, how did this happen? Like magic. I got to witness Perry Farrell's, who's from Jane's Addiction, his girlfriend have a basic meltdown during our exiting through from the cruise ship over something so simple and so petty, and it was all working out in her favor. But it reminded me that no matter how much abundance you have, you're going to still have your problems, and it's how you react to them that could make it be a problem or a gift. And watching it as an outsider, standing right next to them, was pretty interesting, because it was really obvious to me what the benefits were. But when you're in that moment, you can be going crazy up here. So I have a whole list here, and I was going to share them all with you, but honestly, there's just too many to go through. We'll be here for till morning, but I've got so much content I'm going to share with you with these experts of people that have achieved things. Because in my conversations, it wasn't just like, oh, what do you do for fun? It was like, how did you get to be so successful? What were your keys? What things actually drove you to do this? What things screwed up your life so that you actually made changes and you had opportunities now as a result of all these pains that you had to go through? So I'm gonna go through all this stuff with you. Oh, one other person check out this sunset. One other person so amazing. If you've never heard of Wim Hof, he's called the Iceman. He actually, he taught us a few exercises that he uses so that he can actually climb up Mount Everest. Not just climb up Mount Everest, but he gets to the top. He doesn't just climb up. Him and his crew use these exercises. They get to the top of Mount Everest, minus like 36 below or something. Maybe it was even higher than that, or colder than that, lower. And he actually strips down to his shorts, and so does his team, and they do these exercises where they're dancing for like basically 30 minutes doing this breath exercise. No shoes on, standing on top of the summit of, or the peak of Mount Everest, the final top part where you can go in these negative temperatures for 3+ hours. And then at the end of all of this, they don't just go sit and warm up and like shiver up. They're perfectly fine. They get their bodies in such a state that they allow doctors to inject a bacteria into them to see if they would actually respond to that bacteria and get sick. And not one of them did, which proves that this body that we run in, that we live in, this body is actually superhuman. We actually are underutilizing what we are capable of to such a degree. Tools are so simple that anybody can use them, and they've done it in labs, and they've proven that you can make changes to your body and to your DNA through the practices that he has, and they're really freaking easy. It's like easier than going to the gym. It's easier than like if you can like breathe, something you do all the time. If you can breathe and you can stand, you can basically do them. So I'm gonna bring as much of these to you as possible over the next few weeks. So make sure that you stay tuned into this page. Make sure that you let your friends know about this. And if you have something specific you want, please interact with me. Talk to me on these comments, because it really helps me get a guide of what you want to hear and what you want to know, because I just got like an intensive, amazing training that people do not get access to. Like there was not only is it expensive, not only is it something you get invited to, but also you have to go through a pretty rigorous interview and get recommendations from other people before you can actually even attend these things. So I want to give you access to this knowledge because anybody can use it. Anybody can use it. All it takes is actually actually just taking the effort. So I will keep bringing it to you guys. So make sure you share this and stay tuned. There's a subscribe button usually that is at the end of this. Hit that so this way that you know as soon as I go live, it pops up in your news feed, and we'll be bringing this stuff to you. So thank you so much for tuning in. I wish I was actually at the raceway right now. I wish I could like transport myself and enjoy this sunset and get there, but we'll see. It's possible, right? Sooner or later. So thank you all for watching. It means it's an honor to be able to bring this stuff to you guys, and we'll see you. Maybe I'll do a video tomorrow or Monday. All right, have a great one.